Hi, good morning everyone. I am Paolo Bartilla. I am part of the Group 2, which includes Ms. Jeneline Vasconcelos, Ms. Jane Bato, Ms. Mayan Britannico, and Ms. Cheseline Tagulata. Basically, we're presenting the real estate cycle, but I am the one in charge just to discuss a brief introduction about real estate cycle and a brief knowledge about the current real estate market in the Philippines. How is the real estate market in the Philippines? According to the Prime Global, with a large density of tourists, an increasing number of expatriates, and numerous investment opportunities provided by the government, the Philippine real estate industry is thriving and robust market that actively caters to the needs of its growing populations, investors, entrepreneurs, organizations that wish to start a business in the Philippines will likely need to set up a headquarters or back office space to operate smoothly in the country. The one has a higher investments right now, as of course, is our international investors. In addition, according to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Governor Benjamin Jokno, we are now in recovery motion. The BSP anticipates that activity in the real estate market will recover in line with the rebound in overall economic growth in 2022 after this pandemic. Of course, lastly, what is real estate cycle? Real estate cycle is a four-phase wave pattern through which commercial real estate and housing markets move. The four phases of real estate cycle are recovery, expansion, hypersupply, and recession. Understanding the real estate cycle can help you predict upcoming trends to make informed decisions about your investments. Whether you're a home buyer, renter, home seller, landlord, real estate agent, or real estate investors. In addition to this, real estate cycle is the one who helps you to give a good timing when to buy a property or to earn with your property. The details and discussions about the real estate cycle will be discussed by my group.
An American economist who specializes in land economics named Homer Hoyt discovered that the real estate business cycle has an average duration of 18 years. But modern researchers argue that real estate cycles are too unpredictable to establish an accurate time period, as there are too many variables that can affect the time horizon of the cycle. In this segment, we shall discuss about the first phase of this cycle, the recovery phase. The recovery phase is typically the most difficult phase to identify. The country will still be feeling the effects of recession and have a bleak outlook. Most people still feel the impact of the previous phase, that is recession, and hence have a pessimistic outlook. Some common indicators of a recovery phase. When a real estate market is recovering from a recession, demand can still be slow. Rental growth can seem flat and stagnant. Declining numbers of development projects. New buildings are few and there might have no signs of new construction. Low occupancy rates and tepid demand for housing. These indicators make identifying the beginning of the recovery phase very difficult, as the market still feels like it is in recession. On the other hand, on this stage, many sophisticated investors consider this to be the prime time to purchase properties that are below market value. Those closely monitoring the data, upward trends in property viewings, the reduced pace of previous decline, or a break in the downward trend are all signs that the market is coming out of the downturn. This is where real estate investors must keep a close watch and act quickly at any signs of recovery. This is a great time to pounce on below market value properties that are in various states of financial or physical distress. You can wait out the rest of the recovery period by adding value to these properties so that they are ready to sell out or rent outright as the economy shifts into the expansion phase. This is Jeneline Vasconcelos, and thank you for listening.
My name is Mary Jane Batok, and I'm going to report about the real estate cycle phase 2. The phase 2 of real estate cycle is called the expansion phase. Expansion phase happens after recovery, and during expansion phase, the developer build again due to the new demands in the market. The general public will start regaining their confidence in the economy. During this phase, the economy experiences rapid growth. Interest rates tends to be low, production increases, and inflation pressure builds. Investors believe that it is also the best time to sell properties.
I am Mayan Britannico. To proceed, let us talk about the hypersupply of real estate market cycle, Phase 3. Hypersupply or power supply is the Phase 3 of market cycle. Since we are talking about the market cycle in real estate, there is of course the supply and demand. Now, what is the importance of supply and demand? Supply and demand have an important relationship. Together, they determine the prices and quantities of most goods and services available in given market. According to the principles of a market economy, the relationship between supply and demand balances out at a point in the future. Now, what is the connection of supply and demand to this Phase 3 of the market cycle in real estate? Hypersupply begins when vacancy increases. Economies monitor vacancy rates and available housing closely to determine each phase of the real estate cycle. The oversupply of space is caused by overbuilding or a shift in the economy pulling back demand. Rent growth may remain positive but at declining levels. Hypersupply, to put it simply, is when there is too many supply but little of demand. It is when supply growth exceeds the demand growth. And also, occupancy rates trend down toward long-term average. As new construction is delivered from pipeline, rent growth slows. Eventually, experts recognize and new development commitments start. As I was listening to our professor's video lecture, it is stated that there is this thing called bubble burst. When demand decreases, supply increases, resulting to a sharp drop in prices. Bubble bursts may happen during the hypersupply, Phase 3 of the market cycle in real estate.
This is Cheselyn Escudero reporting about Phase 4 of real estate cycle, which is recession. What is recession? Recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP into successive quarters. The economy is considered in a recession or depression when the vacancy levels begin to rise due to too much available inventory and economic growth slows down. Rent growth during recession is either negative or at levels below the rate of inflation. In this phase, it will show that occupancy falls below long-term average as new supply exceeds new demand. New product in pipeline continue to be delivered even though demand is dropping. And there's nothing you can do about that because there's always construction lag. So what happened to that point is, landlord cut rent as they try to boost occupancy to cover fixed costs. They try to cover their mortgage payment, their insurance, their property taxes, and so on. There is so many ways to cut costs in apartment building like cutting stocks. But on investment side, liquidity is non-existent as bid-ask is too great for deals to get done. And finally, cycle hits the bottom when new supply stops entering market and rents start to creep back up. So, we are back to that number 1 point to a kind started off with where the new supply from this cycle has finally all been delivered, and now you are at the point when there is no supply, and if you have any growth in demand, or which you are sure that you have growing population, or that you have economy that is performing easily well, you start to have more demand, new household formation, and there won't be a new supply to meet that. So the existing supply will get more demand to the people who are looking for apartment or space for rent, so they will pay more. And this whole cycle starts all over again.